All right, I think we're good to go here. So, all right, so yeah, I'm gonna pick up from where we left off last time. I think this is the 5th stream for this project. It's the budgeting app, and yeah, so far we've got. Well, let's take a look. Let's just take a little review here. Okay, so we have our basic index page set up with some, we have the different headings for like today, tomorrow, upcoming, and then of course overdue here. Then we can also click on an individual item and see the details about it. We can also edit this amount. That's using turbo frames. That's what I set up yesterday. So let's just take a look at our to-dos. So this is in progress, but it's not completed yet. And same thing with show. I mean, show is pretty much complete. I think the only thing we're not working yet is our mark as paid, and then also our remaining edit buttons. Edit goes hand in hand with this. So these are kind of like tied together because basically Turbo Frames is grabbing the fields from our edit view. So let's just keep going with, let's get this thing working here. Our mark as paid. All right, so let's go into item show mark. Oh, no, it's going to be our button at the bottom. So right now we're not actually doing anything to modify the item. We're literally just like passing, or we're when this button is clicked, it'll submit the patch request, and then it would do nothing because we're not passing any values to change. So I'm going to open up our item controller. Take a look at our update. So update right here, we can see it's set up. So grab the item based on the ID, then to update based on the item params, and then redirect back to the item view. So let's pass in some actual parameters we can change it. And the only parameter that we're looking to change would be our status. So actually what we need to do the same thing that we've done here for our color and icon and whatnot, and set up a method helper us, or so I'll do item status button value, then head over to our item helper, and yeah, we actually have it already made. So item status button value, and I just need to pass in the item, and So right now we can see this button doesn't have any additional parameters. So when in Rails, when you use the button to helper, what it's doing is it's actually creating a little form. So if I refresh this, we should see a hidden field here, status, and the value. So when I click this, we should see it has marked it as paid. So our colors kind of stink at the moment for that. So let's change that. I might just need to create another class here for text, but let's see if I can just use the same thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. So mark as unpaid. But hovering doesn't look very good. Probably make this darker. Might even just make the whole thing gray. Let's see what that looks like. Gray 500. Not really liking either of that. I just don't want the button to be as dominant when it's already unpaid or it's already paid. I almost think I kind of want to put in a little bit of a, actually put the status in here so that it's kind of clear that it is already paid. then maybe I'll make a go item status. What are we doing at the top here for our status? I don't think we have anything here up here, no. So this was being used, but we're not actually using this here, so let's get rid of that. And let's make a new helper named item status icon, and then go paid, unpaid, go FA regular, FA check. For unpaid, we'll go FA regular, FA circle, icons, item dot status dot sim, whoops, and actually implement it here. Item status icon, item, okay, flex gap 4 maybe. Item center that vertically, okay. I think that's a bit better. Do I want to put it in a white row? Maybe. See what it looks like if we do that. Grab this. And grab this out of here. Whoops. There. Okay, time to change the music. Okay, so let's see. Let's add some padding in here. UI2, PX4. Kind of looks bad with the circle button with the different roundedness of the borders there. I think the white row is good though. So maybe we go XL for rounded for the button. And reduce some of this padding for the button. And maybe increase 4. Okay. It's a little bigger than I'd want it, I think. I kind of want to see what it looks like without the white. we'll leave it. I don't want to be too nitpicky here at this point. All right, that's fine. So it's marked as paid, marked as unpaid. Do I want that there? Probably not, because then it looks like it's to be checked off. Maybe it should just go up here. That could just be a simpler way of doing this. Okay, let's try that. Grab one of these. And let's take this. Put it here. Grab this, put it in here. Let's get rid of the icon altogether here. Okay. Unless we do this. Stick this in here with it. And then just do the same as this here. Say status. Okay. I don't really love that either. The spacing just looks so wonky. I'm gonna leave it. Does the trick. I can change it later. All right. Okay, so oh yeah, then we have to adjust these to make sure that these are all the same. So actually that might help here. I think what I was using was width half, and then this is just a grow, and then we have the edit button. Okay, so there's actually 3. So let's do that. Same thing here. Same thing here. Okay, my keyboard is going absolutely crazy right now. My Bluetooth is crapping out. Whoa. Okay, let's see. There we go. Got it back. Change it here, width. Oh man. Half, change it here. Grow. And then actually let's go like this. Still doing some wonky things here. So we got a link here. This should line up with that. No, this should line up with that. This should be indented, so we do have the right number of divs. Which one is the first one that's looking weird? Sorry, payment date. Okay, so it should be width half, grow, and then just no class on the third div. So we have, oh, I see. Okay, let's see if I did that here too. We have an extra one here. Still not looking right. This is where it would be helpful to, well, set up a separate partial for these. But I'm not going to do that at this point. It just helps you from having to like rewrite all the styling every time and fiddle around like I'm fiddling around right now. So width 1/2. Width 1/2. Let's just for some clarity. Okay. All right. So grow div. Matches up with that one. What am I missing here then? Why is it looking different than the other ones? Why aren't we getting the, oh, I see. Because it's still a grid. So I need to change it to flex. Flex. Okay, so I don't really like how these buttons are all looking, but it's fine. We'll change that in a bit. Let's get it all working first. Okay, so now this will bring up our edit field for that, and same thing for category, and series shouldn't have one actually, so let's get rid of that. Okay. So let's address this one. Now, I've kind of been avoiding this one because there's two different actually values happening here. There's a due date and a payment date. And don't really know the way I want to deal with this yet. I mean, it could just open up I guess a multi-line. It just won't like be as smooth where it's all in the same line. What I could do is it could just open up a couple different options here. One saying your due date, and then one saying payment date, which again is a value of how many days before the due date. Let's give that a shot anyway, so might as well just give it a try and see how it goes. Item edit. You know what? I'm repeating all this styling so much, and I'm changing it. I'm just going to create a partial. Let's go item, we'll call it attribute row. Let's grab the one from amount and do this. Okay, so that should break things here if I save it. So we lost our amount. And then I can do render. Man, what's going on with my Bluetooth? Render. Plug my keyboard in. It's dying, or what the heck's going on here? Unless my other keyboard is connected upstairs and one of my kids are clicking on it, but I don't think they're awake. Okay, render. At least they shouldn't be awake. Item. What do we just call it? No, we just called it attribute row. Attribute row. And then we'll like this. That should start working again, except I want to do a couple things here. We'll rename this to value. And then set some local variables that are going to be required by this partial value. And then we'll also go item. Man, this keyboard is going nuts right now. Okay. Now we should get an error here. Wasn't expecting a syntax error. Oh, it's this. Now it's going to say missing keywords, value, and item, which is correct because we have not passed that in here. So we'll go value, which will be that number to currency that I just deleted up there. And then also our item, which will be our item. Okay. Good. Indigo Tech says, I love that you're making Ruby on Rails content. We need more on YouTube, and I 100% agree. Rails is awesome. And these Rails 8 features just make so many things so much simpler and easier just to spin up quickly. All right, so we got that partial working for that row. Do I want to break this down a bit more? Maybe. Let's see here. It'll quickly get more complicated if we're doing partials within partials. Not sure I want to do that. Kind of would like to get rid of some of this, all these classes and clean that up a bit. I guess that's where CSS comes in, right? Okay, well, I mean, that helps, so let's move on and do that for the rest of them here. So I can do the same thing, attribute row, plug that in right here. This one will be this value here. And it's a little funky here because I have I have some Tailwind classes and The values aren't just a straight value. So perhaps what I should do is this. Make this a block. Go like this. Go like this. Instead of value, we'll just go yield. Get rid of this. And we'll go span. What was it? Number to currency. Don't need the value here anymore. Close that. I need to get rid of this one because, oops, we're not there yet. Okay, looks the same. That's what we want. Change the name of it to attribute value. Let's do that value, and I'm going to create another partial called attribute field or attribute name. Grab this. Plug that in. Go locals. We're going to expect a name and just a name alone. Then this one I don't need a block. Just go like this. I don't need the item either. And I can go name equals, what was the name here? That was amount. Let's see if that works. Nope, we need to change this from value to name. But actually this isn't using a variable yet. Oops, should be name. Okay, I just want to make sure. Hello. Yeah, okay, good. Now I could do the same thing for this, but like what I'd have to do is I'd have to have two separate yield areas. I'm just not sure it's worth the. It adds a little bit of complexity, and I don't know if it's really worth it. So let's do this. We can clear this out. But first, I'll grab this. grab that. Okay, so this should double up here now. So let's delete that. And it's working. Then we'll do the same thing here. So this was the whole reason why we did this block approach, so that we can pass in these attribute values that have more going on to them. Shouldn't need any of that. This one's called category. Actually, I want to keep it until I grab the value. So stick this down here. The value we want is this. Get rid of that. Get rid of all these again. Category. Okay. Now series. Don't want the edit though. So I'm going to just create another local variable. It's called show edit. Say false. I'll set the default to show edit. Or I'll just name it edit button. True by default. Edit button, and this will only show if edit button. Okay, good. I'm not going to do it for this one because it looks a little bit different. Okay, that's fine. So now what I can do is I can just reuse this in our edit template. Okay, let's see how that works here. So everything went a little wonky. We have an extra div in here. Okay, good. Only problem is we're still showing the edit button. This is where it might not be ideal to use the same partial for both the edit and the values. What are we at for time right now? We're at 48 minutes. Not gonna go super long tonight. I'm feeling pretty tired. Okay, what do I want to do here? Let's think here. Do I want to? Okay, so we could just go, not show or edit. So let's go edit button false. See if that fixes that. It does, so that's good. Let's just do that for this. Now I'm just going to bring these over. Okay. Go right here, and then I can get rid of this, and then I can, you know what, this isn't even been, I don't have a form there yet anyway, so that's fine. Let's bring everything over and add in our forms. Series is next here. Okay, good. And now let's add these missing, because these aren't doing anything at the moment. Except for the amount. So next one would be our payment date. Copy this. Get rid of that. To change these to flex. actually don't need the mark paid button on this page. I'm just going to keep it out. Okay, now things are staying in the right place. That's good. Nothing's happening, but that's expected. Now, I want to add in some fields for our payment date. So again, there's two different values here. So let's go form.date field, and it is our due date. And then I'm going to go form.select. This will be our payment date. And I want to double check what I did for payment date column. I said as a date. It probably shouldn't be a date. It should just be like an integer of like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kind of thing. For how many days before you want to pay. And in fact, maybe I don't even want to call it payment date, because I might want to just have a method for the item called payment date. And if I make the column something like pay days before, then the payment date method would just grab the due date and minus off however many days before the due date. That probably will make more sense here. So, create a migration for me to change the column of the items table. The column to change is called payment date. It should be renamed to pay days before. Is that the best name? And the column type should be an integer. Rename column, error occurred, and this is later migration is canceled. Data type mismatch, pay days before cannot be cast automatically to type integer. You might need to specify using pay days before integer caused by data mismatch. Pay days before cannot be, probably because we have some values in the payment. All right, let's just delete all our items here. Item.destroy all. Still. right, so I'm just saying, is this occurring because of existing records? I deleted all records. This project is still in development and there's no production data. Yes, even if you delete all records, Postgres still needs to know how to handle the column type conversion at the schema level. However, if you're sure there's no data preserved, you can take a similar approach by dropping and re-adding a column. Yeah, let's just do that. All right, there we go. So that will change a couple things. Go to item new. We're using due date there already. Okay, so that's fine. And then also let's create our payment date method. So go payment date, and that will be, I should set a default value for that column to 0 days. Let's add a default value of 0 to that new column. Yeah, so we're just adding default 0 at the end. So I'm gonna roll that back. Rails DB, roll back. Dang it. All right, still a check. So we're adding going back up. Down would just be to remove the column. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go roll back. Then let's rerun the migration with the default value. Okay, so that makes sure we do have a value in there. Then we'll go. Payment date would be the due date minus pay days before days. So that'll be like 0 days or 1 day or whatever. Okay, so we have to change our I should even have a payment. I don't know why we had payment. We have amount, direction, due date. Where is it looking at? What was that error? Undefined local variable, pay days before. We ran run the migration, db migrate. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So trace the item takes us to the item. We have a payment date showing as the same date it's due, which is the default, so that's good. Let's just go add in the field here in item new so that we can just check out everything's working. So we'll say due date. I'll go select pay days before, and we'll have create another helper for this here. Say pay days before options. Fix up these Rubocop violations. Probably just go up to 1 to 7 days before. Okay, and then I can bring this back up here. We'll go pay days before options. Head over to new. Change the label to payment date. Okay, that works. Let's see if it works. So cell phone direction out. Let's go 100. let's say 5 days before. Create item. Okay, it didn't work. What's going on here in our controller? I don't think I added it as a permitted parameter. Item controller. Let's go pay days before. Now let's try a new one. Say internet 100. Say 5 days before, create item. Okay, good. So yeah, its payment date is Saturday, January 11th. The due date is Thursday, January 16th. I think I'm gonna get rid of this. We don't need the weekday in here either for that, I don't think. Item show. Oops. I just want to highlight or copy that. Okay, do. Can get rid of the weekday here. Do January 16. Okay, good. Now back to this. Okay, so we want a date field, the due date field, and then our select with our, what was it called again? Pay days before options. Okay. That's actually not too bad how that's kind of showing up here. Except on mobile, it's probably not. Yeah, it'll wrap, which is not the worst. Let's just clean that up then. Say flex wrap. Put a little bit of gap in. Gap 2. Okay, well, while I'm working on this, I'm just going to actually use our edit page so we can have it showing all the time. Let's use our same styling that we have here. We need to add in edit button false. Then grab a button. Use this same. looks dumb. I don't like how that checkbox is showing up on mobile anyway. Let's see what it looks like on desktop. It's gonna flex anyway because we're growing those fields. All right. You know what? I think I'm gonna just leave it at this tonight. Tomorrow I'll fiddle around with it more, or whenever I do the next stream. But we at least now have items working with the proper payment date, and all of our show view is pretty much set up. So I'm actually gonna check that off. Let's check it off. And edit's still in progress. New is still in progress. Okay, so yeah, these kind of things are time consuming. So you're fiddling around trying to figure out what you want things to look like. Once I get past this one, and then the new shouldn't take, well, you know, like for the new page, some of the things I want to do is, of course, like match the styling so it's all centered and everything. Then the fields should also have some kind of similar styling. But I'll need an icon field here. I actually want to use like, so I'm going to be using emojis. So I think what I'll do is probably create some kind of helper method that will just give me a list of a bunch of different emojis. And then do some kind of selector, like a visual selector, where you can just select from a list of, or a box of different emojis, so you can choose your icon. And then I also want to change this thing here, our direction in and out, to be like a primary thing at the top, where it'll be, you select it's like a box that says in, or box that says out, and then you click on one, and that handles our selecting. So that'll just make it cleans it up, makes it look nicer. I might just bump that down, get some of this other functionality in first. So like, let's move this down here. Well, let's do this. Let's say item new, get all functionality. place. And let's do that next. Then I'll work on finishing up, cleaning up this edit view. And from there, I think I'm gonna jump into user registration. Let's create another to-do called items new, and work on our new item UI with various selectors. Okay. And I'll put that probably a little further down. Kind of would like to have a lot more of the functionality in place, so I'll just put it at the bottom. And then just like work on these kind of like cleaning stuff up and making it look real nice. So get the functionality in place first. All right, safe and E, that is it for today. Thanks for tuning in. See you in the next stream. OBS just froze. It looks like I'm stuck streaming.